Hey everybody, Jack Ingram here. Welcome back to the Texas music scene here at Cheatham Street Warehouse in San Marcos. Texas country artist Matt Castillo has tapped into his roots in both Austin and Edinburg in South Texas to inform his album, How the River Flows. We talked with Matt about his musical journey and how he collaborated with record producer and songwriter Roger Brown in Nashville to make the record.
The U-Haul is packed up and parked in the drive. I'll lock up, turn on the lights. I know tomorrow I might change my mind, so I'm leaving Brownsville tonight.
It's so vital down there in South Texas, you know, McAllen and Edinburg, all across from Rio Grande City all the way down to South Padre. They're all influenced by their upbringing, and without them even knowing. At the time, I didn't know that I was going to be influenced by some of that South Texas, the accordion and the conjuntos and the tejano. But I never really incorporated it early on until, you know, I just realized this is going to be something pretty cool. You know, this whole point of like growing up, you know, you realize looking back that your parents and your aunt and your uncles that will help raise me, they did play that role. A lesson that I learned a long time ago in South Texas was people go to the show to dance. They don't care who's singing it. They just want to let loose. And so we started picking out these songs, and I started realizing this song is really great on the dance floor. So cutting my teeth all those years doing that, and then started writing songs, it just fell into place of me trying to write songs that would do the same.
Say it, say it, say it, say that you don't want me. Say that you won't ever feel the kinds of things that I want you to feel.
Writing for How the River Flows, it was just coming off of my last album, Still Sane, and I was going to songwriter retreats, and I didn't know where I really was going until I met my producer, Roger Brown, and we really got to talking, and he found that I was from South Texas, down in Edinburg, Texas, and McAllen. My buddy Drew Fisher said, hey, you should probably look into Roger producing you. I said, okay, that's a little different. All right, so I gave him a call. I said, hey, would you mind producing me and this next album that I want to do? And he just said, flat out, we'll love to, but we're gonna sit down and see what you got, and then we're gonna keep writing. So we wrote for 2.5 years. We came out with 40-something songs, and we put the best 10 on there. And so he was able to introduce me to some really wonderful writers, and they were able to take me in their circle, and we just created something unique, something from South Texas, blended with who I am. You know, that's 90s country. So you merge them together, you have How the River Flows. And this is really a record I've always wanted to make. And so teaming up with my producer, Roger Brown, and myself, we knocked it out of the park, I think. I'm really proud of this album.
She's an evil kind of woman, the kind that drives a man down to his knees. She's an evil kind of woman, just that evil kind of woman that I need.
So we recorded at Moose Lodge in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Jim Moose Brown, that was his studio, and we got together and we got some really great session players, and they tore our songs apart. It was pretty cool to see it in person and be there live as it was happening in that moment. And Roger just said, hey, we're gonna look at the charts. You're gonna let him go in the studio and just let him have it, you know, let him go at it. Roger was really focused on vocal delivery, you know, and so when we would sit down and go over vocals, he would have to stop me a few times because he's like, hey, calm down on the acrobats. Just let the voice come out of you. You know, you're the one singing it, sing it. Don't do anything crazy, just sing the songs. And it was in that moment where I just kind of pulled back, took a step back, took a deep breath, and just sang my song.
Because hard work and truth, that's what makes a man. Let's go to work.
Fine gentleman out of South Texas. His name is Milton, and he's a real cowboy. And I followed him and I asked him a bunch of questions of what it's like to be, you know, a rancher in this modern time, this modern world. Big cities moving in, and you know, gas prices are high, and you know, but we're gonna make it. That's what he told me. And I said, okay, that's pretty cool. And I looked at him and I said, because hard work and truth, that's what makes a man. And he looked at me and was like, yeah.
Cause he's a cowboy, and the fearless as they come, up and down to face the morning sun.
And I'm taking a piece of Austin, I'm taking a piece of the Valley, and I'm putting them together. And I never knew growing up in Austin and in South Texas what that was going to do to me, but I had two great grandpas. And one was an early part of my life, and one is still a part of my life. They taught me a lot of life lessons, along with my uncle who helped raise me.
But time will tell just how the river flows.
You know, when I'm running hard in Austin and I'm kind of getting myself out of control, I still hear his voice, you know, hey, calm down. Or if I'm in South Texas and, you know, sometimes the world can get the best of you, you know, I have him there. I can go down the highway of Edinburg, Texas, and my grandpa's first name and last name is in the center field. You know, the last name's always, you know, you want to carry that with respect and love, and how the river flows encompasses all of that.
But time will tell just how the river flows.